What's up, and welcome back to Campfire Convos. On this episode, I got my buddy Jared with me. We just wrapped up, but this conversation was about, is therapy overrated? Is God real? And what are our favorite colors? We touched on that one a little bit, but it's pretty much the first two. We had a pretty fun conversation, drank a little bit of river water, and had a fun time. We're at the Canal Campout trial run, and it was just a fun time overall. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. I'll see you at the end, but enjoy the show. To a good episode, buddy.
Absolutely.
Let's see where these combos go.
Yeah.
Slancha.
Slancha.
It's so unfortunate that we have to drink water for this episode.
Yeah, the water of life, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess a cool trade-off, being in an interesting new place. You were on Campfire Convos' first ever public space episode.
Yeah.
So that's pretty neat.
That is.
I mean, it handicaps us a little bit with what we're allowed to do.
You know, that's okay, though.
But, I mean, I feel like we trade off.
We've had plenty of good nights,
We've drank our share
doing those
of
things.
booze, so... But we got to trade off the booze for the cigars.
Right.
Which I think is kind of silly, if I'm being honest, that we're not allowed to drink booze, but we're allowed to
smoke in
a cigar.
public. Yeah.
But we checked. We're okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're good.
Good stuff. Oh.
But these cigars are awesome.
Yes, they are.
Super quick shout out to Joe. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you. These are amazing cigars.
They are. Yeah.
If you are listening and you are in the Saltsburg area, you need to go to Point Street Tavern and tell Joe that you want whatever he feels like making you that day, because it will be absolutely amazing.
It will.
And his taste in cigar is also apparently phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So, thank you, Joe. Quick little shout out there. But, anyways, man, how's life been? What you been up to? All the fun stuff.
Life's been good, you know. It's hills and valleys, of course, like anyone's life.
Yeah.
Not that I'm different from anyone else, but life's been good. Work's been rough, you know, beginning of the year. Started new things, started new budgets, started new projects. So work's been tough, and it's just trying to, work-life balance.
Yeah.
Keep family happy, keep yourself happy, and still try to do productive things at work. I take pride in my work, so it's sometimes too much pride.
Yeah.
And it really gets to you when I don't, can't make a deadline, or, need extra time, or just don't feel I'm putting in, so I just get really hard on myself about it, but trying to do better with that.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah. It's not life or death, right?
Yeah.
Not what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to be hard on yourself. When you're someone who takes pride in the things you do, it's just different. And I feel like not everyone can relate to that. And especially not to the level that I've seen you be on yourself for your level of expectation for yourself, which is, I think it's an amazing thing. I know some people are a little hard on it, and it definitely gets yourself like mentally in some weird situations where, you're performing, when you sit back and look at it, you're performing better than everyone around you, but it's not to the standard that you want, and that's frustrating. Yeah. And to be able to kind of balance that. But
learning how to get that balance, and then I'm not one to toot my own horn, so it's tough to like you said, like knowing that your work, that what you're doing is better than people around you. A lot of that is experience too. I've been doing this since high school, and this is, I've held some long-term jobs. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes I need to give myself some credit, and let myself feel like I'm doing a good job, and I'm doing, more experience than the people around me. Maybe that's a better way to say it, where I feel better about it.
Yeah.
But no, it's tough. It is tough at times, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, finding that balance. Yeah.
Well, so you mentioned work-life balance at the beginning there. Do you feel like you do a good job balancing your work and your personal life? Have you always been that way, or have you been changing?
Sometimes I feel like I'm doing great, and then my teenage daughter humbles me and lets me know that maybe she had a rough day at school and didn't come and talk to me.
Yeah.
Because she thought I was being stressed. That breaks your freaking heart, dagger to your chest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like I would say my mental path.
Also, Campfire Convos first. We got a puppy with us.
Yeah, usually this time of year or this time of night, she is super chill. Trinset. She pottied, she ate, drank. Not sure what she's doing, but she's usually very chill. This is Trinity. But yeah, first clique on the episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, where was I?
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. So I would, I mean, this could go in all kinds of tangents.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just try to talk, and you can round,
Yeah, I got
bring
you.
me in. All right. Well, here, Carla.
Trinity, come. Trinity, come. Come.
Wrong way, sweetheart.
Maybe she has to
Come here.
poop.
Come. Come.
Come.
Trinity, come here.
You lay down. You lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. All right, just my lap. It's lumpy or something. Yeah. So, work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I struggled for years. I mean, as young as I can remember, temper was always there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you did school counseling, you did anger management counseling, you did, all the things that they did at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's not as good as it is today, And so for years, I absolutely just struggled with everything. I mean, absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Blamed it on my temper, blamed it on anger. I'd blame it on everybody but myself, and
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't try to get any kind of help, and wouldn't try to talk to the right people.
Yeah.
And then I would say, I mean, fairly recent in the grand scheme of things, I'd probably say maybe 5 years. I've been on a much better, like actually talking to therapists, went through like a 10-week program with my insurance, and then stayed with that therapist for a while.
Nice.
And just really opened my eyes up to like the mental health side of life and the mental health side of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, it's a slippery thing to, I wish it would be more, I wish it'd be easier. I wish, like, when you went in for your primary care doctor,
Mm-hmm.
mental health was just part of that. Like, it's so stupid. It's not.
The fact
Sorry.
that it's not as wild. Yeah.
And like having some therapy. Thank you, Carla. Having some therapy and just having someone to talk to that's professional,
Mm-hmm.
and can help you with things. It just doesn't seem like it's fair that we're not doing more with that.
Yeah.
And that people that struggle financially can't. It's expensive.
Oh yeah.
It's an expense on a weekly, bi-weekly, whatever. Like on the peak of it, I was seeing a therapist twice a week. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was in, I don't know, midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. I was in a real tough spot.
Yeah.
Not great thoughts. Not just almost lost my entire family. But yeah, and boy, it's tough to try to get the help you need and be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, finances are another thing that is top of mental health. Like,
Yeah.
when you're struggling financially, man, you forget it.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that for me, that's always I'm not good enough, or I'm not capable.
Yeah.
I mean, as a dude, I think.
oh wait, you have a family, then you're not providing.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you
No,
off.
no.
Sorry.
I think that's a very large reason to why I don't at this point, is because I don't feel like I'm in a spot to be ready for it, and it sucks because 31. Don't have a wife, don't have kids, don't have any of the things. Just got a dog, so hey, baby steps.
Same thing.
But yeah, I mean, that was an eye opener for me. Even like, oh shit, something happens now. I'm on the bill. Like, I've already spent probably $2,000 on this dog, and I've had him for 4 months.
Yeah.
And it turns out most of it's like I could have just put spray on it or like wiped it off and it'd have been fine. But like I see him limp because he hurts his foot, and I'm like, oh my god, let's go make sure he's not gonna be messed up. And even that little bit, so I can't even imagine family and
Yeah.
kids and all that stuff. But to your point, the 2 times a week, and everyone needs different levels of that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Some people don't need 2 times. Some people might need more. And that expense is so ridiculous.
It is.
And also, okay, say you're in a 10-week course and you're going 2 times a week, so it's 20 times you get to see someone, right? Well, if you spread that out, now you're not having if you go 20 times over 10 weeks, I'm positive that that's going to be more effective for you and more impactful for you than if you go 20 times over even 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where you're at. But yeah. I mean, you do grow, like, you do get to a point where you're kind of like, I don't know what to bring to you, And there were times like that, but that's where a professional comes into play. And even if I thought that, even if I was like, what the hell what am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, nothing's wrong. I'm, unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah.
Which it's never me, but, it's great just to have that professional that knows how to get it out of you.
Yeah.
And then knows, like, oh, you don't think you're struggling? How about this?
Yeah.
How does this make you feel?
Well, so it's funny you say that. I recently got in a Threads argument. And basically what I said was, being in therapy long term isn't a flex. It's a red flag. Because it's, in my opinion, therapy is meant, like any other rehab or any other treatment, the goal is to not need it anymore, right? So if you're going to therapy and you're consistently working through your things, there are situations where there are very terrible things that happen and you're going to take a very long time to get through them, if you ever get through them. But generally speaking, your goal with therapy should be to not need therapy. And what I mean with that is, if you go and you look for all your problems and everything that you're struggling with consistently, and that's the only thing you're focusing on, that's the only thing you see. So when you start bringing them, hey, this is how I struggled, this is how I fixed it, that shows your progress. And eventually it's not coming to them with the problems, it's coming to them with how you overcame them yourself. And I think there's outliers to that, but in general, I just feel like that should be the mentality. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. So when you first started talking about that, I like adamantly disagreed with you. I don't feel like you should get to a point where you don't have to do it twice a week, once a week. But I think any person, and that's why I brought up it should be part of your primary care. I think any person, I don't care how happy they think they are, how well they think they're doing, I would challenge that with a professional therapist, any person can work on something in their life.
Yeah.
Their mental status, maybe family life, like how to deal with other people's mental status. Like when I was going through my challenge, my daughter and wife had to learn as much as I did, or had to almost go through therapy with me, sort of deal. Just because, I mean, everyone's a factor in everyone else's. Anyone you bring into your circle, anyone you want to choose to communicate with on a base, whatever basis, daily, weekly, anyone you want to bring into your life will have different thoughts, different anger, temperaments, just everything's different. Yeah. So as much as it is you working on yourself, it's also learning how to deal with others. I have a real problem with people being rude, not holding the doors, not like damn near walking into you on the streets, like so oblivious that I think it's ignorance. Yeah. And truly they might just be oblivious. Not right or wrong, but they could, they're not actually being ignorant or mean or spiteful. They're just so fucking oblivious. Sorry. But,
you can say whatever you want, buddy.
Obviously, it still bothers me a little bit. So So as much as therapy is working on yourself, at times it's also learning how to deal with others as much as yourself. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had the thought of, like, I feel I'll always have some sort of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe not when I'm like old, you know. There's a point in my life where I can just be the grumpy old man,
Yeah.
right?
Like, oh, that's
and
just
I'm
pap.
super excited about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, any kind of recent, I mean, I would respectfully disagree with that comment, only because just I can't see when it would ever be a time where I'd be like, meh,
Yeah.
just gonna cut like. So when your insurance changes at the beginning of every year, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much nowadays. So the program I was using for therapy, I no longer have access to. So I have to. So I've now been 3 months without it, and I can tell. I'm like I need to. In fact, on my bingo card, shout out to Carla. On my bingo card is find new therapy for this.
Yeah.
The new insurance we just got. We got a new insurance plan completely. So the app I was working with doesn't work anymore.
Nice.
Or I mean, I could pay for it out of pocket.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's not cheap.
Get an OnlyFans.
Yeah, for real.
I have nice feet. Not really.
Foot Finder, OnlyFans, all the things.
Yeah. I wouldn't make much money. Unfortunately.
Not with that attitude.
Nah, not with that attitude.
Yeah, no, I want to touch on this a second. I just need
Rebuttal?
I need another little sip.
Is that what it's called? Not smart enough to know.
You were plenty smart. I do think I let mine go out after I gave you shit.
I did too.
Okay.
It's fine.
So what were we like?
Joe's over there judging us.
Yeah, I was literally like, oh no.
I keep
He's gonna be
looking over him.
He's like, he let it go out.
He's shaking his head at us. Ah, damn it. Too much talking, enough smoking.
Yeah. Well, for a second I was like chiefing it, and then. But okay. Anyways, back to topic. So.
You're going to edit all of this video.
No, not at all. No, but
yeah.
So I obviously I like to push back because I respect you and I like conversation. So, I guess with my personal experience, right? So I've struggled with a lot of mental health stuff. It sounds like similar-ish to some of the stuff that you've talked about, and the extent of me seeking help with that was talking to a counselor in college, and I was meeting with her pretty often. I want to say it was at least once a week for a while, and worked through a lot of stuff. But it got to a point where I literally would show up and be like, "Oh no, yeah, these are the things," and she would make me think about things differently. But it was, this is the situation that I was struggling with before. I worked through it, and I approached it differently, and I've learned these things to deal with it properly. And so I don't feel like I'm struggling with that particular thing. And it basically taught me how to teach myself to fix things. So from that point on, I've had a lot of those kinds of struggles, but I feel like I'm in a place where the self-reflection bit and the things that I took away from those conversations taught me to be self-reliant in a way, because I'm a very, especially with emotional stuff, I'm a very like inward.
Yeah.
I don't show it. I try not to talk about it.
I'm my own worst critic.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
I will definitely, like, if we're talking about it, I'm going to open up and I'm going to be like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, you're showing feelings. I don't have feelings.
Yeah,
like, no, we all have feelings. I'm going to acknowledge that very much. But I just want to fix things inwardly. And it's been hard sometimes, but I feel like I've gotten through it. And I'm positive I'm still struggling with certain things, and I will continue to struggle with certain things. Like you're saying that you want to continue it and you don't see yourself stopping.
Yeah.
I see myself being almost the opposite, where I don't see myself going back to it, but that's because that's how I feel about it and how I need it. And there's definitely a difference, and there's basically breaks down to you're an outward, or seems like you're an outward person where you want that other person to talk to have that exchange. But I have so many different personalities up here that are back and forth all the time. So it's like, oh, what about this way? What about this way? What about this way? And I'm basically arguing with myself in a way where it's like I'm thinking about it in so many different ways. And I trust myself to do the right thing and feel like, not judge myself, but in a productive way, if that makes sense. So like,
no.
Hey, that's not acceptable behavior. Do this, or this is who you are, not this. And I say all that to say, I think my original statement was incorrect. And I do think it needs some revamping for sure, because I don't think it takes other people's situations fully in. I mean the message, but I can't think of the wording. And I think, okay, let me explain where the thought comes from.
Okay.
And maybe you can help me articulate it better.
Oh,
because I think when you see it how I'm seeing it,
that.
I think when you see it how I'm seeing it, you might have a better view, especially being more of an insider on it. Excuse me. So, I've talked to a lot of people who they've struggled with. I'm not going to air anyone's stuff out, obviously, but like let's say, for example, like they struggle with trust issues in a relationship. Okay. So they'll be like, yes, so I got cheated on in my third relationship ever, so I've had 6 relationships since, and I've had trust issues for all of them.
Yeah.
So I've been in therapy for 7 years to fix my trust issues. If you're in for that long for the same thing, I have a problem with that.
You're not learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what it sounds like what you're saying is, yes, I fixed this thing. Let's switch focus. Let's get better. And I am fully on that. Like, okay, I got past my mental health with this thing. Let me get better at recognizing other people's. Let me get better at tweaking this part of me. And I agree with that, because you can always improve yourself, right? And I don't disagree with that in any way. But if you're working on lesson 1 for 7 fucking years, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't, if you're with the same therapist for 7 years,
I was about to
and you're
say,
working
you
on the
need a
same
new
stuff for
therapist.
7 years, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost incentivized, the way the system is, for them to keep you. Because why are they going to fix you and shoot you off when you're that recurring, like, it just seems so incentivized to not be in your favor. And
that's a good way. That's a good, that's an interesting thing you say there. My first program ever was a 10-week, like it was a set 10-week program through my insurance. So the incentive there is to help you and try to get you, like,
you're on a timeline.
Like, I wanted to keep that therapist so bad. She was amazing. And I physically couldn't, because she was only in that program. Having some issues.
Yeah, we might be out of fuel.
Maybe bring a log up out of the stove here, and there you go. But yeah, that's interesting. Like if you're in there that long, I mean, at that point, not bad mouthing any therapist, but actually, you can. So not every therapist works for you. I've been to a therapist, and he just wasn't a great match for me. Yeah. I felt like he actually helped me dwell on the negatives.
Yes.
Like,
okay, yes.
Instead of helping me past the negatives and then on to a brighter, not such a dark spot in my head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually realized with them it wasn't. Luckily, realized with him, again, I'll never mention his name. I'm sure for some people he's amazing.
Yeah.
As a person, I loved him. I thought he was awesome. He reminded me of someone else. But it wasn't my style of therapy.
Yeah.
But I've had very, very fortunate luck since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to
it's-
hear, at least.
No, absolutely. It's scary. Absolutely scary, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is, and I think most therapists and mental health professionals understand how impactful they are, right? Like they
Yeah.
know the importance of being on their game and whatnot. But I do think there is some unintentional obliviousness to, okay, I'm, like you're saying, the negative. Let's just use that as an example.
Yeah.
If I come in and I'm all excited because, hey, I've been struggling with this a lot and I overcame it this way, this way, this way. And your first response is, but you didn't do this, this, or this. Or, but did you do this?
Yeah.
Or what about this one time? So if I bring you 3 and you show me 1 and you're focused on the 1 and I'm happy about the 3, I struggle with that, man. I struggle with that because I'm looking at the progress, you're looking at the negatives, and I get it, it's your job to pull out those negatives and fix it, but why is that the focus right now? Why is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Or just to, like, and I think you're saying the same thing, like to dwell on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are we focusing on just that?
Yeah.
Why are we dwelling on
Like
just
I want to forget that.
Yes.
I want to get past it so that I can not forget, like historically, because you learn from everything. Like, you know, the old saying, "No regrets."
Mm-hmm.
People take that a little too far, but
Yeah.
you kind of shouldn't have. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but you really shouldn't have too many regrets because you've learned from those.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything in your life. Not everything. Again, a lot of things in your life, there is a positive side to it.
Yeah.
Something good happened from, let's say you had a shit relationship, you know. It wasn't always shit. Obviously you got together for some reason or you found some interest with each other. And then, you know, people are like, man, that was a waste of my time. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just not being truthful about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think every regret has a sunny side to it or a positive niche to it.
I can honestly say, at 31 years old, there is not a single thing that I
You're
regret in
still
my life.
young. You're young.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I can still fuck up a lot of ways. But I very much have that mindset.
You don't have any regret? You're
Not a single one. And there's some things that I'm very not happy with myself for doing. And there's some things that, given the opportunity to repeat now, I would not do or I would do differently. But that's with hindsight, and I can't change it. And I'm not going to regret it because it's made me who I am today. Because that little fuck up
Yep.
might have prevented a way bigger fuck up in the
you
future.
have no idea what could have happened instead or what path you might have taken. And, you know, who knows?
Yes.
I mean, the amount of times we're blessed by, oh man, there was an old country song. Not to get religious, but Unanswered Prayer. I think it was Garth Brooks. Maybe.
That sounds right, yeah.
Well, that was high school. That was a while ago. I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. Holy crap. I mean, maybe you think you want something and it's just not right for you or something happened instead, but maybe you thought it was a negative. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just never, life is insane.
Yes.
You never know. And then things happen and you're like, wow, that was a true blessing. I mean,
Well, I know you're a listener, so I guarantee you've heard me say this before on the podcast.
I doubt it. I just tell you.
Everything happens for a reason. And I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million more. I firmly believe it. And that I think that's why I have the no regrets, because I know that shitty thing that happened, as terrible as it can be right now, is going to teach me something that I need to learn to become the person that I need to become.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, getting a little philosophical, religious here, but I think that's the reason we're here, is to kind of spiritually awake and become the version of ourselves that we need to be. And I don't know that everyone passes that test at the end, but
Right, yeah.
I think your choices lead you to your next path. And that next starting point might not be a good one if you don't make the right choices now. And yeah, you have to live with that, or I don't know. I guess in some situations you're lucky and it's just, oh, shouldn't do that again. And other times you really mess up and it changes your life. And you hope that you're self-aware enough to not do those life-changing decisions poorly. And you want to be on the upper end of that and the positive end of that. But it's life. It's not always how it is. But
Yeah. No, you're absolutely. I mean, you mentioned luck. I mean, how many times in our lives could shit have really went sideways? I mean, not proud of, but I mean, driving with a couple too many pints. Maybe doing something stupid in public. I mean, just a little bit of luck has to be with it. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times where...
And how quickly that could have changed your path.
I think you really... If you... And we're kind of... What's the word? I don't want to say mute to it, but that's not the... Like oblivious to it, numb to it. We're kind of numb to it now with how much negative shit you see in the news.
Yeah.
Like, you see, 2 teens die in car crash from underage drinking. And you think back to how many of your friends or how many times you were in a situation where that could have been you. And as far as drinking and driving goes,
I know.
I'm so against it. It's so dumb. It's not worth it ever.
Really stupid.
I have a house on my car, so if I'm stuck somewhere, I'm just staying there. Put a blanket in your car, put a pillow in your car. If you're too drunk, climb in the back. If you're a cop and you pull someone, or if you stop someone on the side of the road who's too drunk and they stayed in their car in a parking lot, you're an asshole because they're doing the safe thing.
Isn't that crazy?
That is ridiculous.
I don't know if it's a rumor or real or not, but I remember as a kid, like, they're like, if you're sleeping in your car and your keys are on you, you're still a DUI. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw those bitches out the window.
Well, so that's the thing. Like, people were saying, like, when we had the turnkeys, if it's a turnkey, if it's in the ignition, you're in trouble. But now, since everyone just has a key, if you have it in your pocket, like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
My car wasn't turned on.
I wonder how much that's truthful, though.
Well, yeah. I don't
We
know.
have to get one of your officer buddies to confirm that rumor.
Mythbusters over here.
Yeah. Hey, put in the comments if you're a officer, and that's a true statement. If I pass out of my truck, not driving, and the keys happen to be on me, am I still in trouble?
Yeah. Officers and lawyers.
Right. Yeah.
Comment down below.
Yeah. And if you're a lawyer, text me your number.
Just in case.
Future reference.
Yeah.
Future.
Not that we'll need it, but
No, absolutely not.
yeah. But yeah, no. I just think those kind of things used to be a very eye-opening thing. Like, you'd see that and you'd be like, oh shit, like, that could have been me, that could have been someone I care about. And now you see it, that's all you see. So people just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole news system. That could be a complete other podcast, right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, our media is such crap. I'll be honest, without going too much into it, I just stopped with it. Like, I used to watch the nightly news, like a normal old person, and there's never any happy stuff on there.
Yeah.
It's all just negatives.
Yes.
And that gets to me.
I have not watched.
I'm not a person that can just continue watching negative or getting, listening to it or being around it. Kind of a tangent of that. It's unfortunate that sometimes you have to maybe cut someone out of your life or gently cut someone out of your life, or however you want to say it. That's just not good. It's not that I follow people, but I've already realized, I'll be out with a good friend, and if that friend just happens to be a negative, like, not that they're an evil person, but just maybe all they want to talk about, they just bitch and moan and negativity. I very quickly and easily join in with that, and then I can just feel myself going down that stupid path.
Yep.
And it's a hard struggle. maybe that's a personal struggle, maybe that's everyone, but so it's sometimes really, really tough to make those decisions. Like, I can't hang out with this person.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate where the people that I've had like that in my life have been people that it's been, I don't want to say easy to cut out, but easier.
I've not, but yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have family members like that.
Yeah.
I think it's two-parter, right? Because one, I am very self-aware, and I know I will fall into that, and I don't want to. So if you start doing it around me, I'm gonna give you shit about it.
Yeah.
So
that's
like,
good.
hey,
that's good. You're aware of that quick.
Yes.
I'm usually like hours into it. I'm like, whoa.
Well,
Or I leave, like maybe we're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I leave, and I'm like, wow, I was garbage the entire night. What the,
Yeah, and it can be something as simple as someone being like, "Oh, I don't like this burger," and I'm sitting there eating my burger. And I'm like, I kind of liked it, but fuck these fries, and then right. Like you fall into something like that.
And this waitress is crap too.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even like this restaurant.
My beer wasn't good. My beer was warm. My whatever, and my Guinness was cold.
True story. Way too cold.
Who doesn't drink cold Guinness? This fucking guy.
Come on. How dare you?
No, but yeah, I think, and that comes from just catching myself and again, a lot of internal self-reflection, but it's a lot of sleepless nights where you sit there for 8 hours and you basically just analyze your entire day and your situations.
Yeah.
So it's not.
But I also think that's a positive for me mentally, because I know I'm growing if I can now kind of be aware of that.
Yeah.
Like maybe I got into it, and maybe it's a day or two of shit mindset, negativity mindset. But being able to, hopefully catch it before it affects anyone around you. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Just being aware of that is definitely growth.
Yeah.
Not something I would have done, years ago. I just would have kind of continued and maybe not seen how that affects others around you or how it affects you personally, stress and the way you act and maybe work. I've been lucky with that aspect of it. I've never really had it affect work, but if anything, work causes it.
Well, even being aware of the causes is also a big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's like they're so oblivious to their triggers.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, quick tangent. I think being aware of your triggers is a very good thing. I think expecting other people to give a shit about your triggers is not a good thing. The people who are in your life consistently, like if you have a wife and there's something that triggers you, you have to have a conversation and fix that.
Yeah.
But if Joe Schmo on the street does something that triggers you and you can't fucking control yourself to not do something and react poorly, that's a you problem, not a Joe Schmo problem. Like, fuck you. Who are you to tell me I can't do whatever I want to do?
Right.
Like there's exceptions, like don't be a piece of shit, but if I'm just existing in a way that you're unhappy with, and it triggers you that much that you have to react poorly, fuck you. That's your problem, not mine. And I think that's a slippery slope, because you want to be aware, you have to know your own triggers, but you also have to know that you are responsible for them, and everyone else is not. That's pretty much as simple to say it. And I think we're just like, I don't know, when you just have people that are screaming like, that's my trigger, you're triggering me, I don't give a shit that I'm triggering you. If it's something, I'm not going to do it intentionally, but if I'm doing something that I believe in, or that if I'm saying something that I believe in and you don't agree with that and you can't handle that,
then walk away, or don't listen, or or kindly rebuttal. I mean,
well, if I can make you that mad with just words,
right,
there's a problem.
Right.
There are certain things that I have zero tolerance for. None of them are fucking words. None of them. You can say whatever you want to me. Okay. You can say whatever you want to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I have an issue. You start saying some shit to someone I care about.
Yeah,
That's different.
Yeah.
But I do think that is a big learning thing for so many people that they need to learn. Just because to expect everyone else to bend to your whim and do what you need them to do. There's 7 billion, 8 billion. How many people are on this planet now? Where who are you? You're one person that I might never see again. So no, I'm not going to change my life because it might make yours more convenient. You know what I mean?
That's a crazy. I feel it's a recent concept. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if it's entitlement or people are taking free speech too literal. No, because it's the opposite of free speech, right?
Quite literally.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. It is pretty awful that people just can't either brush it off or respectfully rebut. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is. It's rough. It's really rough. Right now.
It's two guys talking about it. I don't think we're going to figure out the answer to the 7 billion person problem, but
hey, you never know. We're here in Saltsburg.
I think we have some good insight.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well,
I do want to do something super quick if you're not opposed to it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to throw a couple logs on.
Please.
And we're going to do our first call out of the season.
Ooh.
So, if you've been watching, and you have to be watching to actually know this, but there have been some animations that we've added to the season where when we throw logs on, there's a little fire animation. You get to see the names of the people who've been supporting. And that is for essentially a certain tier of supporter. First off, if you're a Buy Me a Log supporter in any way, shape, or form, thank you so much. I appreciate you. But the different tiers get you different perks, I guess would be the best way to say it. And one of those tiers is Keeper of the Flame. So if you are a Keeper of the Flame, at some point this season, you will get a call out. Our very first call out is for Kathy and Rich. So thank you, Kathy and Rich. We appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one on because I'm just looking in there and that's a little full.
Yeah. We do it pretty well.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, we did it pretty well. Yeah.
So, Kathy and Rich. So, let me try that again. Kathy and Rich, thank you so much.
We'll edit this one.
I appreciate you. Be like Kathy and Rich. Check the link in the description for Buy Me a Log. Season 3 is closed, so all of the supporters who are in there for Season 3 will be in this entire season. If you would like to get in for Season 4, you can get in at any point between now and a week before Season 4 is released, and we'll add you to it. So, yeah, be like them. Click that link. Check it out. And then while we're stopped, also, so Andy Shandy is our beer sponsor. And again, because we're in public, we're not allowed to drink beer, which is why we're drinking water out of our flask. But yeah, so we're not drinking it tonight because we're not allowed, and I didn't want someone to complain about it. So water, and they're sitting here sealed just so you can see.
Yep. Nothing.
Yep. Nope.
Still full. It's unfortunate, but yeah.
Yes, it is very unfortunate. But thank you to the Brew Bank. Andy Shandy is amazing. Go to Ridgeway, get some Andy Shandy, buy some logs, and
support this guy.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
It is very much appreciated.
I don't care if Season 3's closed or not. Just buy him a coffee, buy him a beer.
Yeah, all the stuff. But yeah, so back to conversation.
Yes.
Do you think that you have like any triggers that you're working through currently?
Oh, always. I mean, I have crazy demons. I mean, like I said, I thought, I was doing better with people's ignorance, but yeah, the world's sometimes just an ignorant place, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just, I wish others didn't affect me as much as they do at times. That's easy to say, but it makes me mad.
Yeah.
makes me angry, makes me, and it's how you deal with that, in a healthy way, I guess, is the right way to say it. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I just don't always fit, the normal mode of people, and that's a struggle also. It's there's definitely always struggles there. Compromise is tough when you have a family life. Everyone wants things their own way, which is great.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to compromise, but if you feel you're not being heard and that person maybe feels like you're not, it's life is just a constant battle. It's really tough.
Yeah, never ending.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it eventually ends.
Well, yeah. No, or does it?
Yeah, right. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
One day we'll find out.
Yeah. If you've been reincarnated, put a comment below.
Yeah. How many times?
Or if God sent you back down,
Yeah.
or whatever your belief happens to be, right?
Yeah. I have some interesting theories as to life and universe and all that, but that is definitely a topic to dive into in a full episode at some point, because I don't even think I could summarize it in the time that we have left. Which, actually, Carla, how much time do we have left?
We're at 48 minutes.
Sweet. Oh,
We've been talking for 48 minutes?
Indeed.
No way.
I know, right?
No wonder my cigar went out.
Yeah, I did it twice.
I know.
I gave you shit. I did it twice.
Joe will never give us cigars
Yeah,
again.
Joe's gonna be. Well, we can.
Ever.
That just means we can enjoy cigars with Joe at the end here.
That's true. That is true. That's if he didn't finish his, right?
yeah, really. Yeah, but no, I have some theories to life, and I've kind of pieced them together, and I've recently learned that a lot of them align with some different, like, global religions, which is interesting. But I just, if I start talking about it, I'm not going to stop. So we need to change.
Well, I mean, let's just be quick. It's. I think in anyone's mental journey, I don't know what to tell you, war. Like, books are always recommended to you. Okay. I would sit, maybe not all of them. My experience, most of the books are all based on, I think, Buddhism. A dear friend of ours is a yogi. He's amazing. He has helped me countless times. He knows who he is. I won't mention him, but he knows his place in my heart. Read some amazing books. And don't remember. Cheryl Huber, maybe? Anyway, maybe you can link it if you ask me later.
You can do that.
But yeah, it's crazy. A lot of, like, the mental health stuff, is not, and again, I think it might be out there, but stuff I found was not, like, Christian based, Jewish, like the main, a lot of it is like Buddhism or just a different alternate lifestyle type, just things that make you think, things that help you out. I'm not saying I didn't pray. I pray a lot. But there's also, I just feel like there's different avenues for everything. It's hard to sometimes feel, and I know you don't want to go down this tangent.
Yeah. I mean, we're already on it.
And we can stop. But it's just, at times, even being raised, in a church-going family and Catholic, and then, whatever, it's at times hard to believe there's one path. And that'll probably piss off a bunch of families, so hopefully they're not listening. Actually, I hope they are. Well, we can talk about it next holiday. Easter's around the corner, right?
I think the conversations, especially with people you care about, are helpful most of the time.
Yeah.
As long as they're coming out of a productive mindset. And I think, unfortunately, religion specifically is one of those topics that does not come out of a productive mindset most of the time. And
there's times.
Well, yeah.
I have some unfortunately, probably the best at it was my uncle, and he's recently passed. But I do have some really good family that I might say something that I think is, maybe Buddhism way, and they'll know enough about the Bible or whatever to bring that into. So, but that kind of also there's more than one path.
Yeah.
Obviously, if two different religions can have the same beliefs, so anyway, it's yeah. I'll cut you off, I think.
So, I always say this: I believe in God. I hate religion. Okay, and when I say that, one, it pisses a lot of people off. But my mindset is nothing has killed more people on this planet than religion. Right?
We're dealing with that right now.
As we speak, it's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
And to compound that even more, it's so frustrating when you have people who are literally killing each other and 88, 99% of their beliefs overlap.
Yeah.
But the 1% that doesn't is the reason they're killing each other over. So, like, okay, for example, right? Let's say I'm spiritual, you're Christian. Mm-hmm. You believe in God, I believe in karma. Mm-hmm. When you look at those things, they're basically the same thing. We're just calling it different. Yeah. You believe it as this power or this being that is all power, and I believe as this thing that is all power. It's a thing that you can't describe. It's literally just something you can't understand. And by definition, if there's a God, we can't comprehend him. Like he's so above what we can comprehend
100%.
That you can't put it into words.
Yeah.
So when we try to put it into words and those words are slightly different, why the fuck are we killing each other over it? And I just said, fuck talking about religion. So, no, but like I can't wrap my head around people being so angry about such minor details.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's so frustrating to see the amount of hate over something so built on love and supposed to be so good and it's frustrating. Mm-hmm. It's frustrating.
100% is. A fun concept I heard from someone dear to me is that all the religions, and I'm going to explain it poorly, but I'll try to remember what they told me, right? Mm-hmm. That'll be a challenge in itself. All the religions get you to the same place, mm-hmm. but they were made for that culture. Mm-hmm. So if you want to believe in Buddha, if you want to believe in Judaism, if you want to believe in Greek gods, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to keep this conversation going. But if I've heard a concept explained to me that every different religion is still a path to some sort of afterlife being, if you're good, you're good. If you're poor, you're not, it's an interesting concept. Yeah. And boy, we can make a whole episode of this.
Oh yeah,
maybe we shouldn't get into it. Yeah,
not too late. We're already in.
Yeah, I know.
We're finishing this now.
Yeah, I mean, there's countless struggles with religion and thinking there's an almighty God and this and that, and one of my biggest is just children. Yeah. Out of niece that passed before she was 2 years old, and you see all the terrible shit in the news, and it's hard for me to have any kind of positivity about any innocent life, lost, especially young. Yeah. And so to me, that is a huge hang up for me in religion. Yeah. And especially because it was so, close, and I don't even know if my family knows that. So like I said, I might not share this link. No, I'm kidding. I mean that's really hard for me.
I think I've heard that, not exactly said, but basically, how can there be a God when there's so much evil, right? I think that's what it comes down to.
Well, I think God and evil, I don't, there is concept of that.
Yes.
There has to be an opposite.
Yes. Well, that's kind of how can so many terrible things happen if there's a God? Like, how can God
Yeah.
allow someone like that to die? Or how
Yeah.
can they put the evils that we experience in this world out? Like, how can that be allowed if there's an all-powerful God? And I think my belief with that is, like you said, there has to be an opposite, right?
Yeah.
And you have an all-powerful good. That means you have to have an all-powerful bad, because there has to be a balance, right? And it's I don't know if I'm smart enough to dive into that either, but it basically just comes down to, are you focusing on the good or are you focusing on the bad? And I think it's so easy to want to believe this, but then all your attention is here.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that has been my biggest hang up with Christian and Christian religion in my experience is, okay, silly example. I go to church and they teach you to love your neighbor and to like basically don't judge. I have never felt more judged than in church, ever. I can go to the rattiest of dive bars, go in there and
be
air my
judged
shit
less.
out and be judged less, right? And
Boy, I can't agree with you more. Yeah.
I just can't, like, okay, I'm dressed up, I'm here on a Sunday, but maybe my hair isn't done right, or maybe I didn't wear a collared shirt, and now, you know, every person in the church is talking shit because, you know, did you see Mitch Yard isn't wearing his turtleneck today? And it's just, it's, I guess it's the hypocrisy that comes along with a lot of that. That is very off-putting, and I think that's a big thing for my generation too. And I don't know if it's the same for yours, but it is just why would I voluntarily put myself in a situation where they're saying one thing and actively doing the opposite so consistently?
Yeah.
And I don't have any. I wouldn't go. I stopped going. I don't go to church I go to church very rarely because I experience that so much. And I will say, the last couple times I've gone, I have not felt that way. I have not felt judged. I've not felt, and I've definitely I've gone in like shorts and a t-shirt, or like I kind of tested a little bit to where it's like,
what can I get away with?
yeah. So, in like a kind of hoping to prove myself wrong way, and it has, and I think that's because a lot of the people are growing, and I mean the whole thing is always growing and, you know, learning and being positive and all this stuff, but yeah, I will say I've never experienced that more than in that scenario, but I don't always experience it now. So
it is unfortunate. I know as soon as you started saying that, I knew exactly what you were saying. I mean, I've had, unfortunately, multiple churches where I felt that, and I just, like you said, I would just stop going to that church. Yeah, I mean hypocrites. Christians are some of the worst hypocrites. And so it is tough to find that balance and find that place where you feel safe, but you know, it's just a building. Yeah, you can still do your stuff and do your beliefs and read your Bible, or you know, whatever you want to believe in, and not maybe necessarily go to a building. I do think the fellowship is super important. I know I feel better when I'm around people. Oh yeah, that I want to be around.
Yeah, like-minded people. Yeah.
Yeah, but no. There could be some rough times in churches, that's for sure. There's definitely a lot of judging and a lot of unfortunate, really. Yeah,
it's extremely unfortunate.
It's supposed to be a place where you can feel good about it.
So, a couple things, right? When Charlie Kirk died, I'm not going to get political with this, I promise. When Charlie Kirk died, there was a lot of things that surfaced in my life that, actually, I'll just tell you the story. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm not normally a very political person.
Okay.
I would consider myself very middle of the road. I would not consider myself liberal. I would not consider myself conservative, especially when you go by issues, right? Like, I am very liberal on some things and very conservative on other things by definition, okay? So, but when he died, I was struggling with a lot of stuff, and I was seeing a lot of videos of him talking about God and talking about religion and just all of the things, and it made me feel very empty and in need of a connection with God. So I went up to Ridgeway on literally just a random day. I was like, I need to just drive. So I ended up driving like 4 hours or 5 hours that day just to be not sitting in my house. And so I drive 2.5 hours up to Ridgeway, and I kind of fuck around for, I don't know, an hour or two, and then I start driving back. But on my way back, there's a spring that I always stop at, just fill up my water bottles or whatever. Well, I pull in right behind a game warden, and he's getting water. I get out to get water, and I start talking to him because I talk to everyone, right? This game warden used to be the pastor. And okay, so let me preface, let me rewind a little bit. As I'm driving up to camp, I'm looking at these churches, and I'm thinking, I want to go in there just to talk to someone. To someone who's close to God. And see what their thoughts are. Have them make me feel better. Okay? So I'm basically actively searching. Right?
Yeah.
And I kept telling myself, no, if you're gonna run into it, it's gonna happen. You're not forcing it. You're not walking into a church, the easiest place to find it. So I pull in behind this game warden, get out, filling up water bottles, make small talk, and somehow it comes up that he used to be a pastor at a church that just so happens to be the very closest church to my home residence, 2.5 hours away. And I could not believe that, of all places to be, I'm in the middle of nowhere. There was very little stuff around there. I'm in the mountains. I pull up at the same time as this random game warden, make small talk with him, and he was like 6 months out from being a pastor. He turned it over to someone else to get back to, I think it was back to like home or like where his family was, and get back into the game, like the forestry stuff. But we had a nice conversation, and basically he just told me like there's a church there. He said, you know the church with the really big cross? And I said, yeah, I drive past there every day. He goes,
oh,
yeah, that one.
I actually know which one that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been to your house a couple of times now.
That one.
Yeah.
So
little much, but you know,
yeah, well,
it is a landmark.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think that was the whole point. But I just could not believe how that happened.
Jeez.
And I have so much stuff in my life where it's like, is that a coincidence? That there's too many things that can't be. So I cannot physically believe that there's not something out there. I don't give a shit what you call it. You call it God, you call it karma, you call it the universe, you call it whatever you want. There's something out there that we can't understand, that we try to, and I truly believe it wants what's best for us. And I think that doesn't necessarily mean every single person. I don't know that every person is getting the best out of life, because there are a lot of people in not good situations. But I also think that it's my responsibility that if I'm chosen to benefit in a way, that it's my responsibility to help other people as much as I can. And I think that's what pushes my journey a lot, is I want to do a lot of big things. I want to do things that you tell people and they're like, yeah, good fucking luck, buddy. But I'm not going to stop till I get there. I am a bullheaded son of a bitch. Actually, not a son of a bitch. I love my mom, so she's not.
Your mom's amazing.
Yeah, she is amazing. But I will not stop till I get there. And I think it's just because I have so much faith that it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I'm going to get there somehow. And it just happens in so many weird ways of, okay, I want to do this thing, and I just happen to run into the person who makes those things happen. Or, I want to do this event, so I just happen to have a conversation that leads to this, that leads to that leads to all of the things that I'm now doing, right? So I can't explain those things and how they happen, and coincidence or not, or destiny or not. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But I know there's something happening that makes me feel a way that I can't explain. And I hope, I pray that everyone gets to feel that, because it's, without sounding cheesy, it's special. And there's nothing quite like feeling like you're exactly where you're supposed to be when you're there. And to be able to share that with someone, to be able to have a simple conversation with someone and say something that you feel is kind of insignificant, or like, oh yeah, everyone knows that, but you can see like that light switch every once in a while where it's like, oh shit, you touched them in a way that they weren't ready for, or maybe they didn't think they were ready for, but they need it, or whatever it might be. And it's, I don't know, it's just, it's cool. I don't know what word to describe it. It's truly an amazing feeling to do that, and it's a borderline become addicting to those. Like I want to do that for as many people as I possibly can.
No, it can be an addiction. I mean, yeah. I don't know if it's an unhealthy addiction.
Well,
but
no, yeah,
it is. I mean, you get that high. I mean, there's probably a word for it. Yeah, your brain enjoys that.
like the rush of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an adrenaline rush, I guess.
Yeah.
When you get to help someone that needs it, or really truly bless someone with something that maybe you didn't think was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times that's pretty eye-opening as well. Whenever you can do something so little for someone, and they're just like gobsmacked that you would even consider helping them like that, and you're like, dude, I didn't do anything.
So 2 days ago, TikTok and Facebook and all of my social medias decided to start showing me a set of videos. And that set of videos was basically just people, like YouTubers, who would go around and bless people, right? So like give them money, or like the one dude, Juan, I don't know his channel, so I'll link it down below if I find it.
We're gonna have a lot of links.
Yeah, we are. But
and lawyers.
Basically what he was doing is he was going into small businesses, and he would just like make a story with the location and say, come eat. And people would flood in, and he would cover any one of his followers who showed up. He was buying their food.
What?
And he was spending thousands of dollars in these restaurants, and he would go in and basically be like, hey, do you mind if I invite a couple friends here? And they'd be like, no, go ahead. And then he'd invite like hundreds of people. And
Joe, you hear all this?
yeah, that's where we're going.
I mean, if he was famous enough, we'd make that happen.
When I get that OnlyFans money, we'll make it happen.
OnlyFans money.
No, but that's
okay.
where I want to go. Is I don't give a shit about money. I don't need money at my current stage. I will need it at some point when I start having a family. I get that. But I want to make so much money that I can do that at any point. I can walk into a restaurant and say, hey, here's $10,000. I want you to feed every single homeless person that comes in here. I want you to go around the city and feed every single homeless person you can find. I want you to feed all of your customers. I want you to go cater this fundraiser that I care about.
Yeah.
Charge them nothing. I covered it. I want to cover any cost that anyone needs. And how I'm going to get there, no fucking clue. I want to figure it out. I hope I can figure out sooner rather than later so I can help more people.
Benefit from it.
Yeah, but I just... big dream, yeah. Realistic dream, not for most. Is it for me? I don't fucking know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I'm not going to stop trying, though. And I think even if the aim high, miss high mindset where, hey, I want to be able to drop $10,000 when I can, but I can only drop $1,000 when I can.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Get there. Is it in the way that they do it is basically like the funds come in from crowdsourcing. So hey, I want to do this great thing for people. Help me, and I think they get a lot of really special donors involved and stuff like that.
That's amazing. That's pretty crazy.
But that's the thing I want to start doing is, hey, big business or like camping business, outdoor brand, whatever it is, I would love to do this project for you. I don't want the product. I want $5,000 or even let's say $1,000. I want $1,000 so I can take a family out, buy every single thing they need to camp, and get them somewhere that they can reconnect with nature in an impactful way. I don't want there to be any excuse, any hurdle that they have that is stopping them from doing the thing that has quite literally saved my life multiple times. So if I can start with that, and I don't care if I have to do it, I'll figure out a way to get there. But if I can find people to help make that a more reoccurring thing, because doing it by myself is, I will make it possible. But doing it with other people is so much more rewarding, because if I can have a team of people that is doing it, and now we have, a community of people who are saying, hey, I have all this money, I've worked my ass off for it, I want to help more people. You have the platform to do it. I want to help you do it.
Yeah.
That would be special.
Amazing, yeah.
But I don't even know how we got there. That was a tangent and a half.
That's how most of our conversations go.
Yeah, facts. Carla, what time are we at?
1:12.
Okay, we should probably wrap this up soon.
Oh. You never gave me a time limit. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk as long as you want. You
just edit it.
I don't cut like anything out, so
I'll keep talking. He's like, yeah. Carla, just turn it off.
Just shut it off. We wrapped this up 20 minutes ago.
Oh, batteries are dead.
You bite your tongue. But no, I do think we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
I feel like I talked way more than I should have.
Oh, I doubt that.
I feel like I should have been talking.
Oh, you got logs in there. What's going on?
I know. A little pokey poke.
A little poke.
A little pokey.
Give it a little poke.
A little pokey poke.
Yep. That's all you need sometimes. Oh my goodness.
And fire!
Don't break this thing. This thing's nice.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
Pack fire, smokeless fire pit.
Right.
The world's most portable smokeless fire pit.
It's a backpack.
It does. A full
I saw
backpack.
it. I saw it.
Carla wants to know where we're at and why we're sitting in
Yeah,
front
you
of
didn't
tents.
promote anything on this video.
I did not. Well, so I'm trying to not be promoty. I want people to enjoy the conversation, damn it. But now, if you've made it this far,
Wow.
you're not leaving.
I know.
So-
I mean, hour and 15 minutes
for
into our
real.
rambling.
So if you are curious on where we're sitting on the Saltsburg Canal, and we are doing a trial run for Canal Campout. So if you want to know what the hell that is, with all the other links, that'll be down below at the very top, actually. But the Canal Campout is basically just where we come into Saltsburg and camp on the canal, get people into town to support the small businesses, be on the trail, be on the river, and just hang out. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, check the link again, get more details. We are doing a ton of fundraising events for Shop with the Cop during Saturday. So come out, be with cool people, support a good cause, and eat some good food made by Joe over there.
True story.
And all of our other businesses that are amazing and helping us out. But yeah, so on the canal.
Is that where we're at?
We are.
At the canal.
We are at the canal.
Saltsburg.
Yep, in Saltsburg,
A lot
Pennsylvania.
of cool history plaques around. They did a good job.
They are really cool too.
The
huh?
historical people here.
Yeah, I
Society? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've lived here for quite a long time and have not once looked at those, and I'm very glad that we took the time
Wow.
for it today. I know. I'm a bad Saltsburgian.
Yeah, you can kick this guy out.
Yep. Terrible.
I'll come in. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm fixing.
I don't know, 3D print some new signs.
Ooh, yeah.
But
Our printer's not that big. So if you have a 3D printer, send it over. No.
yeah. The biggest one you have.
Yeah, totally. It's crazy. You see some of the stuff out there.
All right, so
That'll be in episode 2. Part 2.
part 2, 3D printers.
Yeah.
Gone wild.
Season 7.
All right, so
Yeah.
now that we're fully off track, let's get back on track for 1 second.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Oh.
I want you to ask me a question. Wrap this up.
Ooh, ask you a question.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Would you like to ask first, or do you want me to ask
No,
first?
I have to think.
Okay.
I don't want this long, awkward pause.
Okay. We're going to sit here awkwardly until you think of it now.
Wait, I have to ask you first?
Yep. No, I got you.
Yeah, you go first. Okay. What kind of question we asking?
Anything. It can be related to what we got. It can be completely off. It doesn't.
Well,
doesn't matter.
That's easy. Just say what's your favorite color.
Well, has to be a meaningful question.
You said any question.
I did say any question. I retract that statement and mean a meaningful question. Although color is slightly
very, very meaningful.
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy you something, it has to be the right color.
I mean, I don't disagree with that.
The right color is green, but whatever.
Purple.
Oh.
But anyways, no. But my question is,
you're gonna edit so much of this.
I don't edit shit, Jared. I leave it all in. The fun stuff is the fun stuff. Okay.
All right, what's your question?
So we did not touch on this a ton.
Uh-oh.
But you are probably the person that I know who is the most proud of their heritage.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me for the guests or for the listeners, tell me a little bit about your heritage.
Yeah.
And then give me the single most meaningful thing that you feel like has made you the person you are, that you've either learned from or you've taken from your lineage and heritage.
Oh, boy, I don't know if that's the same. I mean, I would say the single. Yeah, I mean, maybe the same. So I already learned about my heritage. So my last name isn't Irish at all, but we always went to these family reunions for the McCannon and the Green, and I just never understood. When I was young, you just went. Yeah. You just went, ate food, played with kids. That's all you did.
Yeah.
But there was like a strong, just Irish background of our family. And so I just started digging into it more as I got older and did the whole, your DNA, spit in the tube and send it off and got our percentages. But yeah, no, I just, oh boy, what the single most, I'm not sure. Like, it's sometimes not Irish are extremely resilient. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of not great history there. I like educating people on that. I think they don't realize how Irish have been treated, and there's so many stereotypes in the world, and Irish don't seem to care about a lot of stereotypes, probably because they're true. But but no, I really enjoy educating people on not just the plastic patty, not just the Yank way of Irish culture and St. Patrick's Day, especially the month of March. We just went through St. Patrick's Day, and that you can be very disrespectful without knowing. And I think it's with anything. It's a good lesson, even for myself. Like, you can be super disrespectful to someone, and you have no idea what you're even saying or doing. Irish car bomb. That's not funny. It's not a great drink. Black and tan, again, not funny, not a great drink. So it's just some culture and back descendants of Patrick McCannon, and just really kind of dive into it and try to teach people a little bit about it and try to learn, even learn about it myself, I have some dear friends that live over there, and the way of living is a lot different. I feel it's a lot better. I think the people still really care. Here, I just feel you got to find pockets of people that care. But yeah, it's just it's my heritage. A little bit of Irish in me.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if I answered that fully, but
I'll count it.
All right.
I like it.
That'll work.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm one single thing. That's tough. Yeah.
All right. Now
we don't eat corned beef.
Wow.
We don't eat corned beef. That was an American invention.
All right, so we're gonna need a corned beef sandwich.
There was corned. We ate corned beef today. The salad.
Yeah.
But there's like sauerkraut. I mean, I don't know if that was German. And that was just Joe. Joe's an amazing cook.
Proprietary. You can't tell them the ingredients. It's proprietary, damn it.
Oh, it's proprietary?
Yeah.
It's the fisherman salad.
The fisherman salad.
So come to Saltsburg.
Point Street Tavern.
Saltsburg? Point Street Tavern. Get the fisherman salad.
Yep.
And then try to figure out what's all in it.
With the lemon dressing.
Oh, man.
With the lemon dressing. If you're going to add dressing, add the lemon dressing.
Yeah. Yeah. House made, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Doesn't come out of a bottle.
Nope. Nope.
Not one a salad.
Yeah. No.
Wow, that's a weird conversation. That's. I don't know if I ever said that.
Damn. I don't think I ever have either. I've never once been sitting somewhere and be like, you know what I'm really craving right now? Salad.
Salad.
Yep.
I need some rabbit food.
Yeah. Joe, you have officially introduced a new
Yeah.
thought to my brain.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Edit.
Yep. Nope. No edits. Even me saying no edits is staying in it.
It's staying in it.
100%.
You're not even going to clip that out?
Nope.
Oh, man. So, shit, Mitch, I don't know what to ask you, bud.
Anything you want. It can be deep. It can be surface level. It can be whatever you want.
Maui. This is why I don't host a talk show. Or, what are these called? Podcasts.
Mm.
Question for you. Damn, man, we've had a lot of good late nights.
That we have. I mean, even if you can basically know the answer if you want. If you something pops in that you really liked, or whatever you think. Uh-oh.
No, I'm
Not that one.
I'm not great.
Whatever you just thought, not that.
Not that one. All right. Yeah, let's. I mean, just. Boy, I know how that started. What's your? Yeah. All right. So I know a lot of like your plans for this year. I know a lot of your goals for this year. What's like your number one? And I say achievable lightly because I know you. You think you can achieve everything, which is a great drive to have. I wish I had more of that. Or I try to have more of that. Maybe not wish, but so what's your number one? Like, you think you're legitimately going to achieve goal for this coming year? And you can't say it's this or it's one. Just one.
10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay. And is there like a reason for that number? That's two questions. Yeah.
So it's the next milestone that I think would mean a lot to me.
Okay.
It's just an internal thing.
Yeah.
There's no real reward. So when you hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you become monetized with other criteria, but that's one of the main things. And really nothing else happens until you hit 100,000. When you hit 100,000, you get a plaque.
Oh,
when you hit 1 million, you get a plaque.
Yeah.
So I really want a plaque at some point. But
Yeah.
I think 10,000 is the number that I looked up to. Like, I mean, when you think of YouTubers, a lot of people think of the massive ones, right?
Sure.
But I've been impacted by a lot of YouTubers, and the ones that I've been impacted by the most, I've come in at around 10,000. I mean, there's been a couple that have impacted me way beyond that, but have had more. But some of the smaller ones that I can recall being impacted by, and not just like a single video, but like I'm catching all of their stuff, has been around 10,000. So I think once I'm there, I'll see myself as an actual YouTuber.
Yeah. Come on,
and it's just, it's an internal thing for sure.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think anyone else, I mean, if you talk to anyone who doesn't do YouTube and you tell them that, hey, I've done this, I've had this many hours watched, or I've had this many subscribers, they're like, oh yeah, you're a YouTuber, that counts.
Right.
But I feel like that's kind of the imposter syndrome in me, where it's like, oh, I'm not a YouTuber yet. I'm not those guys.
Man, no.
But I think 10,000 is achievable, very achievable, especially if I do what I should be fucking doing. I think that's my biggest complaint about myself is last year I had so much momentum, and then last year I focused on the podcast a little too much and did not put out barely any other videos during camping season. I'm a camping fucking channel. So if I double down on that stuff...
Hey, my camping season's winter, so you did fine.
You're not wrong. This was a fun winter. But I think it's doable. I think it'd mean a lot to me. So I think that would be my number one achievable goal for this year.
I don't see why. I know the work that goes into what you do. You know, I've been around you enough now where I see the work. Even I've been around a lot of YouTubers, and it still surprised me at the amount of work you put into this stuff, and I mean that honestly. Not just, I'll tell you the truth. So, you know that.
Can always count on that.
Yeah, but no, it's crazy the amount of work that goes into this stuff that, you just don't see. It was eye-opening for me as well.
Yeah.
So, heck yeah, fingers crossed we'll get you there.
I appreciate you. Well, this probably isn't necessary, but we're rolling out, so we need to finish our water, so I can pour us a shot of water. So.
Yeah, my water's been going.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if we have ice cubes. But...
Yeah. Well, I'll finish my water and we'll pour some more. And...
Pour some more water.
All right. So, again, we're in public, so we can't be drinking. Well, we want to be drinking. So, we have some water in our flask that would be Maker's Mark because it was our third pick in our blind bourbon tasting.
Which was incorrect, but whatever.
He's wrong. But it was our top three. It was our third. And after this episode, we would be switching to another. We are switching to another one. Oh. This is the last one for Maker's Mark. And then the next three will be our number 2. And then the next 4, 3, 2. Math. The next couple will be the first one. So, but it won't be Hunt Camp. So here's some.
It won't be Hunt Camp.
It will not be. They did not make the top 3, surprisingly. That was a lot of water.
Yeah. I don't know if I've done a shot of water.
Well, it should be easy for you.
Maybe when I take pills.
Yeah, does that count though?
I doubt it.
Jared, thank you for being here.
Absolutely,
I appreciate the conversation.
I hope it was well.
It was. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
That was way too much water. Way too much.
I think that was river water.
I almost inhaled it. Yeah, I think I got a little bit of the flavor.
A tadpole in mine.
I think the flavor just lingered a little bit.
Yeah.
That was did not taste like just water.
It was like stale.
Yeah.
I think water can get stale.
It's just flat water.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Yeah. Anyways. All right. That is all for this episode. If you made it this far, I do truly appreciate you. I'm going to say that again in a second. But if you watched last episode, at the end, we do a thing where we talk about, or where we ask you what animal sound we're playing. So if you were here last week, this is the animal sound that was playing at the end of that video. Stick around a little bit longer and you'll get to hear the video or the animal for this week. And that will be when we roll out the credits for all of the Buy Me a Log supporters. So if you could, please stick around just a little bit longer. You've already been here for an hour and some change.
I don't know how.
So stick around a little bit longer. See the people who've supported us and just, I don't know, show them some love in the comments because they've truly made this an incredible experience for me. And it helps us have guests as awesome as Jared. And it keeps us rolling. So if you could do that, I would really appreciate it. But if not, I still appreciate you. And until next time, peace. Let's go. A huge thank you to everyone who bought a log this season. Some of you sparked the fire, others kept it burning, but every one of you helped make Campfire Convos possible. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And now, down in the comments, let me know what animal you think makes this call.